The 8th and final round of the 2019 Buckmore Park Summer Pro Kart Series may not be taking place in particularly summery weather on a cold but fortunately dry October evening under the floodlights here at the heart of British karting, but we are still in for a thrilling 1 hour race with 33 karts set to take to the grid and 2 of the 3 category championships still to be decided. Fraser Brunton and Adam Harding in the low 49s in Q3 head the grid ahead of already confirmed Superlight champion Jake Taplin. He lines up alongside Peter Knight. Row 3 sees Anthony Amato alongside newcomer Samuel Essery on row 3, all of them from the Superlight class. Lightweight pole sitter Max Mooney, still in with a shout of their title, lines up alongside Ryan Horton on row 4, and completing the Q3 qualifiers Liam Conway alongside lightweight points leader Paul Gasson completing the top 10. Rob Jones just missed out on a Q3 place. He lines up alongside top heavyweight on the grid Aidan Hayden. On row 7 it's Manuel Abrahams alongside another newcomer for the season Harry Charalambus on row number 7. Row 8 James Lee and Neil Strachan, another of the heavyweight front runners, completing the top 16. The 9th row sees Matthew Hawes line up alongside James Rudd, and completing the first 20 on this grid Tim Herberts and Adam Harrod. 33 starters in total for round 8 of the season. Jake Taplin, as we say, already confirmed as the Superlight champion. He didn't contest round 7, can conclude that as one of his 2 dropped scores for the season. Peter Knight's behind him, then Adam Harding, Fraser Brunton and Anthony Amato. 4 of them round winners overall this season. A total of 7 Superlight class drivers on the grid today. In the lightweights category, meanwhile, Paul Gasson has the points lead, and he has a 0 score from round 1 that he can drop, but there's 3 other drivers fairly close behind him. Rob Jones, Ben Scott and Max Mooney, all separated by just 2 points and still within a mathematical chance of taking the title off Paul Gasson, depending on what happens here today. It's different again in the heavyweights category with Ollie Smith and Alex Jones, who've won all the rounds between them so far this year, level on points heading into this final round of the season. But Ollie Smith has a 0 score from round 1, which he didn't contest. But he can drop. Alex Jones will have to drop 2 scores as he's contested every round. They're together on row 11 of this starting grid as we get ready to go racing here at Buckmore Park. Hopefully the weather will stay dry for this 60-minute race. A reminder, the Superlight category drivers have the yellow number plates, the lightweights have the black plates with the white numbers, and the heavyweights the blue plates with the white numbers. So number 4, Fraser Brunton, looking for his 2nd round win of the season, starts on pole with Adam Harding looking for his 1st alongside him. A very consistent season that Adam has had this year. 2nd row Jake Taplin, already confirmed as the Superlight champion, alongside Peter Knight in the yellow jacket there on the number 2 karts. Beating row 3, number 1 Anthony Amato. Sam Essery on his first appearance of the season. Then we've got the first of the lightweights, Max Mooney, looking for a race win today in that category to try and take the title from Paul Gasson, who starts 10th. Start marshal moves out of the way, then it's time to go racing here at Buckmore Park. There's the green light and away they go. Decent start by Sam Essery, moving across to the inside as they go into Conway's for the first time. The number 1 of Amato almost squeezed onto the grass, but it's kart number 4 of Fraser Brunton who takes the early lead. Trying to get down the outside is Adam Harding. He could lose out here to Jake Taplin. Taplin finishes outside the top 3 today. He can drop today's score. Side by side for 2nd place, and it is Fraser Brunton who leads the way, looking to try and take 2nd in the category points following today's round, battling with the likes of Peter Knight, Anthony Amato and Adam Harding. They're all over each other around this first lap. Down into paddock bend, Knight side by side with Harding, who's lost out on the outside. It is Brunton who leads the way, the winner of round 2 of the series this year, already with a clear lead as they come round to complete lap number 1 ahead of Jake Taplin in 2nd place, already assured of this year's Superlight category championship. Starting to stack up behind him. Peter Knight in the yellow and white there in 3rd place. And 1 win this year. Could lose out here to the number 5 who has a look down the inside there. That's number 5 of Adam Harding, who's yet to win this year but has had very consistent results. Didn't contest the opening round, so that will be one of his 2 dropped scores. You drop your 2 worst scores, count your best 6 towards your championship total. That's where it's going to make things interesting in the other categories, the lightweights and the heavyweights. We concentrate on the early overall leaders. Peter Knight having a go here for 2nd place and goes through into Garda Corner. It's down towards the S's and up to Cafe Corner at the end of the lap. bumper there for second place. This is allowing number 4 Fraser Brunton to escape at the front of the field. We should see just over 70 laps in the hour in this race. They were down in the low 49s in qualifying, so the newer tyres on these karts for the last 2 rounds really proving effective in these cold but so far fortunately dry conditions. Away goes Fraser Brunton in front. Then second is Peter Knight in the number 2. One round win for him this year in round number 4 of the championship. He came very close in round 5, but made contact with a back marker on the penultimate lap, having led all the way and spun, giving Anthony Amato the win. Amato's a bit further back on the number 1 kart here, didn't get the best of starts. And Brunton continues to lead the way. Knight in second, chased by Jake Taplin. He finishes, remember, out of the top 3 today. He can drop today's score. He's already assured of the championship. It's early days yet. A battle for fourth between Sam Essery and Adam Harding at the moment. Good start by Sam, the first appearance for him this season. The lead gap is coming down slightly now. Peter Knight is going after the number 4 of Fraser Brunton. Out of hairpin 2 they come, down the signed sweep. It's downhill into the S's and then paddock bend. Looping right-hander. The regular paddock in use for championship events here at Buckmore Park. It was racing here yesterday in very wet conditions. Fortunately it's dried out for today. First 3 starting to break away from the number 5 of Adam Harding in 4th place. Calm down slightly after the opening exchanges. Still a few battles all the way down the order as Fraser Brunton continues to lead the way from pole position. He won round number 2 of the championship this year. Has had a couple of other podiums, so he's in with a shout of taking second in the championship today. It's between him and Peter Knight, I would say, with Amato and Harding slightly further back. The only other regular in the superlight category this season has been Liam Conway. He's down towards the bottom end of the top 10 on kart number 8. And Essery, of course, his only appearance of the season, so not a factor in the white points. Knight starting to get the gap down slightly now. And towards the completion of another lap, 56 minutes of the race still to go. It's a very arduous race, these 1-hour events here at Buckmore Park. The longest that I've raced in a kart is 30 minutes, and that was arduous enough. Jake Taplin in 3rd place. Adam Harding is there in 4th, and they've broken away now from the rest of the field. Further back in the lightweight category, it's Max Mooney and Ryan Horton who are setting the early pace. Now Max has a chance of taking the title today if Paul Gasson struggles. Gasson has got 1 lower score to drop from round number 5, where he only scored 27 points. Max Mooney will have, I think, a higher score than that to drop. He's done every round. Paul Gasson was in a different category in round 1, so his score from that one not counting for points. Never mind that, because Peter Knight's having a go on the inside. He's caught Fraser Brunton at Conley's through Henry's Bend. He's going to try and take the lead here. They're side by side on the road towards the hairpin, and Knight takes the lead from Fraser Brunton. First lead change then. Peter Knight takes over, looking for win number 2 for the season. He should really have, by rights, had 2 already, but had that collision with a back marker in round 5 and spun, giving Anthony Amato the win. Amato's had 2 wins this year. Jake Taplin's had 3. Knight and Brunton have had 1 each. Straight towards Garda corner. Up the hill they go. Climbing towards the left at Senna, and then into Cafe corner to complete the lap. Further back in the heavyweight category, it's Aidan Hayden and Neil Strachan currently setting the pace in that one. Strachan 3rd in the points coming into this round. But between alias Smith and Jones, Oliver Smith and Alex Jones for the heavyweight title today. They began the day equal on points, but Ollie Smith has a 0 score from the first round. Well, he didn't contest the first round this year, so he can count that as a dropped score. Alex Jones has contested every round and has been on the podium in just about all of them, so he will have more points to drop to even things up. We'll have to see how things pan out at the end of this one as Brunton attacks back again. He goes up the inside into Garda corner. He goes through. Reed takes the lead from Peter Knight. Cracking fight going on between these two for the lead of this Buckmore Park Summer Pro Series final round. Up over the grid hatchings they come, down towards Conway's once again. Knight attacking back again into turn 1. Down towards Henry's Bend, named after the late great Henry Surtees. Into the hairpins, hairpin 1 to the right, hairpin 2 to the left. They're nose to tail, as are the battle for third place. Taplin still holding off Adam Harding, and they are well ahead of the rest here at Buckmore Park. Anthony Amato, Sam Essery and so on dropping back down the field. It's still Max Mooney on top of the lightweight category. Strachan and Hayden tackling the heavyweights, along with Jones and Smith just behind them, and also James Rudd on carts at number 5, also on the pace in the heavyweights. He's only contested one other round this year, so not a factor in the championship. He raced at round 5. I'll keep on top of all the points as best we can as we go here at Buckmore Park. We concentrate on the 2 leaders, running nose to tail towards Henry's. Still Fraser Brunson with that move at the right-hander at Garda earlier on, who's got the lead. Peter Knight trying to wrest it back again. Taplin holding off Harding for third. It doesn't matter too much for Taplin if he was to lose that third place, because if he finishes 4th today, such has been his form earlier in the season, he can count it as a dropped score. His lowest result this year was 3rd place in round 5. He didn't contest round 7, he sat that one out, having already been confirmed as the champion. 2 leaders head into Garda. Through Senna up towards Cafe Corner once again. Cart's length in it between the 2. Fairly well spaced out in the rest of the order here, has to be said. This is not the frantic racing that we usually see here at Buckmore. Maybe it's because it is the last round of the championship and only a few drivers will now be interested in gaining points for their championship chances. That said, Adam Harding is having a go at the Superlight champion Jake Taplin. All over the back of him there through the hairpins. Taplin in the blue and whites. Rival Adam Harding in the black with the yellow trim. Swing their way through Paddock Bend. Bottom of the circuit up towards Garda Corner. Touching bumpers through there. The 2 leaders are getting away the harder that these 2 fight each other. Good racing so far on the Buckmore Park circuit, as we have seen so far all the way through this season. The weather has been kind to the Summer Pro Series this year. We've seen some really enjoyable racing, particularly round 7, where Anthony Amato won by the scantest of margins in round 7. It really was a wonderful race. This one a little quieter, as you might expect. The championship's now won among the Superlights. Jake Taplin taking the title. Here's a replay of how Fraser Brunson took the lead earlier on. Knight just a little bit delayed when he went over the curbs there, I think. He lost a bit of momentum. Went a little bit wide on the entry to Garda, and Brunson said, "Thank you very much." Tight on the inside. He went into the lead through the right-hander. Stuff from Fraser Brunson. Retake the lead on Peter Knight on kart 2. Race is still on for Adam Harding on kart 5. Hunting down Jake Taplin for 3rd place, and these 4 are going well clear of the rest of the field here. Back soon some of the other battles down the order. Taplin a bit wide there through hairpin 2, but Harding not able to capitalise. The leaders head down towards the S's and then into Paddock Bend. Taplin chasing. Harding still on his tail. He bumps Taplin there briefly coming up towards Garda. Intentional, I don't think, at all the time. They are falling back, you can see, from the 1st and 2nd place fight between Brunson and Knight. Superlights running 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. Anthony Amato incidentally is next in the order on kart number 1. He's already fallen quite a long way behind this lot, and they will soon be lapping back markers as well, as Harding gets a better run out of Henry's Bend and he goes through into hairpin 1 into 3rd place. So he's got his man. Taplin drops back to 4th, but as we say, he won't let that bother him, because if he gets to 4th here, he can drop it, given his form in the earlier part of the season. He'll drop round 7, which he didn't compete in, and will then drop this round as well if he finishes off the podium. Doesn't matter to him, he's already won the title if it stays like this. Now you can see how far ahead they are of Amato 5th, Essery 6th. Leading the lightweight category is number 8 of Ryan Horton in 7th place. Now he's not a factor for the championship. There go the 3 and the 8 in the heavyweights category. Aidan Hayden battling it out with Neil Strachan for the lead there. And here's a big fight in the heavyweights further down the order. There is Ollie Smith on cart number 6, battling with Manuel Abrahams on number 9, and the number 1 is Matthew Hawes. The other man we need to look out for is number 4 with the blue number plate. That's Alex Jones, and I think he's just ahead of this little group. It's all going to come down to drop scores, I think, because Ollie Smith has got a no score from round 1 to drop. He's under fire there from number 9 of Abrahams, who's only made a couple of appearances so far this season. Goes well when he does. He got the fastest lap for the heavyweight category in round 7. But irregular appearances see him well down the points chart. Ollie Smith and Alex Jones have taken all the wins between them so far. Smith's won 4, Jones has run 3. There is Jones, we just caught a glimpse of him there, just ahead of Ollie Smith. And don't forget, there is a point for the fastest lap as well. Could that be what it comes down to here? Abraham's chasing hard. They're not in the lead of the category. That's currently Matthew Hawes and Aidan Hayden leading the heavyweights along with Neil Strachan. So they're a little further back from where they want to be. That's there are the leaders through Paddock Bend. Still Fraser Brunton, less than a length ahead of the number 2 of Peter Knight. 3rd is Harding, 4th Taplin. Then a gap back to Anthony Amato, who is in 5th position. It's the fight for the overall lead and the super lights category. Well clear now, the top 2 of the 3rd place fight between Harding, who's got slightly clear of Jake Taplin now. 5th position is Amato. Then the fight for 6th, and the lightweights are in that group as well. Back with our heavyweights midfield fight. This is not for the lead of the category. Number 9 of Abrahams chasing Ollie Smith. Next in the order, number 5, which is James Rudd. We've got one of the lightweights. Number 1, which is Bailey Morgan. Now, he had a poor run in qualifying, Bailey Morgan. He only started 23rd, but normally used to seeing him fairly well up there in the lightweights category. Missed a couple of rounds early in the season. Ollie Smith under fire from Abrahams chasing Jones. Just ahead of them, one of the lightweights, which is the number 6, I think. Yes, that is Adam Harrod, starting 20th on the grid, looking to make his circuit racing debut next year. He's had some tests with the Fiesta Junior Championship at Brands Hatch just down the road. There's heavyweight number 5, that's James Rudd, in among this group, swing their way through Garda. The 4 there of Alex Jones in prime position to try and close up and take the title from Ollie Smith. Smith's got that 0 score to drop. Didn't contest round 1 this year. Alex Jones has contested every round this year. He's been on the podium in all but 1 of them, so he's going to have to drop a substantial amount of points here, Alex Jones. Ollie Smith has a 30-point score from round 4. If he stays where he is at the moment, he can drop that. He'll drop round 1 as well, which he didn't contest in as a 0 score. So he's got about 30 points less, I would say, to drop than Alex Jones. See how that's going to turn out in the final reckoning. See where they finish today as well. There goes number 6 in the lightweight. So that is Adam Harrod. This group fighting it out behind him. 5 of James Rudd, I should say, under fire from lightweight number 1. Bailey Morgan trying to make his way up the order. And they're chasing Ollie Smith on the number 6 cart. Plenty of tension in the heavyweight category in particular at the moment, as the number 1 of Bailey Morgan makes up another place. I suspect he will work his way through this lot. He had a disappointing qualifying, only starting 23rd on the grid, now starting to make his way forward. Neil Strachan there just ahead. He's currently setting the pace in the heavyweights category. He's 3rd in their points at the moment. I don't think he's quite going to be able to do enough to catch the men ahead of him in the points, Smith and Jones. Strachan has a non-finish from round 7 to drop. It was pretty much his undoing in terms of title chances. To the score, his lowest score so far this year, a 29 in round 2. So Neil Strachan could still be in with a mathematical chance if Smith and Jones have any higher scores to drop. But I would say the ball is in Ollie Smith's court at the moment. Strachan could still get past Jones. Or 2nd in the points though. In the lightweights, meanwhile, Max Mooney trying to take the title away. And meanwhile, we have had a lead change in the overall fight. Peter Knight has not only got back ahead of Fraser Brunton, but he's pulling away from the number 4. So you can't take your eyes off this for a second. Fraser Brunton has lost his lead to Peter Knight. It's all happening here at Buckmore Park. They're coming up to lap another of the super light runs. That's how quick these two are. Harry Charalambous is going to be lapped shortly. Through come some of the lower markers there, the leaders at the bottom of the circuits coming up towards Garda. Tonight with Charalambous in his sights now. So the number 13 we saw in there of Ethan Wood, running in the lightweight category towards the tail of the field, starting 30th on the grid. Leaders come up over the line. Peter Knight is starting to put clear air between himself and Fraser Brunton. To the hairpins they go. Who else have they got ahead of them here? Brunton closes back up a little. We've got the 12 and the 11 in there. Number 12, Ramūnas Kauskas, the Lithuanian. Number 11 is Ben Scott. Now Ben is in the top 4 in the lightweight points at the moment. He's a long way down the order. He had a very disappointing qualifying, only starting 28th, and they're going to struggle to get past this lot here. They're getting past Harry Charalambous on the number 6. He moves aside, lets them through. But the leader got a bash up the back there from Fraser Brunton. Peter Knight's just looking to see where he is as they come out of Senna into Cafe Corner. We've got just over 41 minutes of this race still to go. This is going to be close between these two. They're clear of everybody else. Coming up to lap the number 12 of Ramūnas Kauskas. He's had a pretty tough season, always battling in the midfield though. Ben Scott's going to go a lap down fairly shortly as well. In fact, he already has. Scott's dropped back in the background. He's struggling, and his chances of the lightweight title, I would say, have gone. So it's between Gasson, Mooney and Rob Jones for the lightweight championship. Max Mooney currently setting the pace in that category along with Ryan Horton, with Gasson just behind them as the leaders force a back marker to one side through Garda. That was the number 13 of Ethan Wood. Brunton is now right back up with Peter Knight, who had to hesitate for a moment there as he took that back marking cart. Up towards Conway Corner once again. The only corner that has a namesake in this race, Liam. Goes to tail now between the two leaders. Brunton's getting aboard once again. There's more back markers ahead. He's got to make use of this little space. Lewis Deacon with the yellow helmet there is the next man to be lapped. They've lapped a fair number of runners here, the two leaders. Past the 1/3 distance of this race now. It's 1 hour Buckmore Park Pro Series Round 8. Fraser Brunton is attacking. He's going to go up the inside at Garda. He's done this once and he's done it again. For the second time in this race, Brunton, he's patented that move now. Down the inside at Garda, retakes Peter Knight for the lead. Knight fighting back as they come up over the line. He's going to try and go to the outside, then dummies back to the inside. He's all over the back of the number 4 carts. But again, Brunton holds him off. Great racing between these two. Down the straight towards the right-hander at the first hairpin. Lewis Deacon ahead of them. I think it's number 14 as well of James Lee, is it? No, it's number 4, sorry, of Chris Goy, the other man to be lapped there. James Lee further ahead. He qualified well in 15th. Also a heavyweight runner in there as well, number 7. That's Tim Herbert. Started in the top 20, but he's dropped back a bit. Harry Charalambous. The battle for third starting to intensify. We caught a glimpse of there. Adam Harding and Jake Taplin back together. Now the leaders have got to deal with these two back markers. Over the line they go. They were almost side by side there. A bit stuck behind the back marking carts there, I think. Getting tough for the lead of the race, but Peter Knight trying everything he can to force a way past Fraser Brunton at the moment. Look back at another of the midfield battles now. This is involving the lightweight class leaders. There is Max Mooney on the number 3 cart chasing number 16, which is Neil Slaughter. He's being lapped. This is the lead of the lightweight category. Mooney against the number 8 in the white cart suit there, Neil Strachan. They've got number 7 of Sam Essery behind them. This is the lower reaches of the top 10 overall. This is for the lead of the lightweight class. Paul Gasson is 3rd in class in the turquoise and black there. We've got somebody off at Paddock Bend. It's Ethan Wood, number 13, has crashed out there. So the marshals may have to attend. He's stuck nose first in the barrier. Now, the lightweight class, as you said, any one of 4 drivers can still win this. Max Mooney and the number 8 of Neil Strachan. The number 8 of Brian Horton, leading the category at the moment. Somebody running out wide there. That might be one of the officials' carts actually on its way to deal with that incident. For Ethan Wood. Max Mooney in the lead of the lightweights. He's got Sam Essery behind him. Then we've got Ryan Horton on cart number 8 in the white suit. And Paul Gasson, yes, one of the officials just going down to paddock bend. The lights flashing there, so no passing at paddock while Ethan Wood's cart is recovered from the barrier. He will hopefully be able to continue with this race. Official's cart stopped there against the wall, and Ethan Wood says thank you to the marshal and gets going again. I must say a big thank you to all our marshals and officials here at Buckmore Park for their work this season. We couldn't go racing without them. We'll wait and see what this is going to mean for the lightweight category, because Max Mooney hasn't got a 0 score to drop. Paul Gasson raced in the opening round of the season, but in a different category, so his points didn't count towards the lightweights. And side by side there, Max Mooney and the number 7 of Sam Essery. Lightweight driver stays ahead of the superlight. Ryan Horton's going to go through as well. Ryan's had a couple of wins this year. He's had 1 win, at round 5 in the lightweight category, but that was the first points he got this year. So he's not a factor for the championship. Nor is Ben Scott at the moment. He's a long way down the order. Paul Gasson could still be in pole position for the title here. He's had 3 lightweight class victories this year. The others going to Max Mooney, Ben Scott, James Lee and Ryan Horton. Gasson's been the most consistent, except for that one round at round 5 when he only scored 27 points. He'll be able to drop that if things stay as they are, along with his 0 from round 1. Max Mooney trying to take 2nd in the points. He's had a slightly less consistent season. Struggled badly in round 2, only picking up 22 points, and he's in the low 20s at round 6 as well. So those are the scores he will drop. See if he can take a category win today. He's got Ryan Horton on his tail. He's only done a part season this year, so he's not a factor at the top of things. Trying to keep on top of all the scores as we go here at Buckmore Park. We can look towards half distance. Sam Essery, Paul Gasson behind him. And behind them, the number 8, that is Liam Conway. This is, I think, 5th and 6th. No, 6th and 7th, in the super light category as they run at the moment. Top 5 out in front, but not by a huge margin. We got a glimpse of Anthony Amato there. He's running in 5th overall. Here comes Ryan Horton now attacking for what is the lead of the lightweight category on the back of Max Mooney on cart number 3. Stuff here among the lightweight drivers. Paul Gasson keeping a watching brief. If he stays where he is, I reckon he's going to take the title. Paul Gasson. We'll wait and see when the maths has been done. Carts line astern in this battle for what is 6th place overall. 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Further back down the order, a couple more of the lightweight division, and then we get the heavyweights battling for their own championship. Ryan Horton's all over Max Mooney now for the lead of the category. Max will want to stay in front, because if he drops back, it could be the difference between him winning the championship or losing out to Paul Gasson. Rob Jones, the other factor in the championship points, as Ryan Horton gets an attack there. It could be 3 wide there coming out towards Garda corner. That was close there. That was number 7 trying to put the boot in, but he's lost out to Gasson. Sam Essery, and also Liam Conway has come through as well. So that's broken that group up a little bit. It's allowed Max Mooney, crucially, to get clear into the lead of the lightweights category. Ryan Horton still there in 2nd, but Gasson is now ahead of the 2 super light runners. Now that could be critical in terms of him trying to catch the 2 ahead of him. They lap the number 11 there of Ben Scott, who's in all sorts of problems in this race. He was thinking there, those are the drivers I should be battling with to try and win the title. I think there's something wrong with his cart. Unfortunately, he's struggling here, Ben Scott. He's a lap down on his championship rival, so he's not going to win the title. Rob Jones is further back behind this lot. He's just outside the top 10, so still in with an outside chance. Anthony Amato there, pursued by Ramunas Kauskas, we caught a glimpse of. Amato is in 5th position, and the fight for 6th headed by Max Mooney. So I would say it's between Paul Gasson and Max Mooney for the lightweights title here today. Because Jones, Rob Jones that is, already has scores of 27 rather. So I look at my points chart from rounds 2 and 4. He's got 2 lower scores to drop from where he is at the moment, just outside the top 10 and running 4th in the class. Fight further down the order. This is Bailey Morgan with the orange and black crash hat there on the number 1, challenging number 8 in the heavyweight category. This is Neil Strachan fighting with Manuel Abrahams. They are currently the category leaders in the heavyweights class. This is the leader of the heavyweights, number 8 Neil Strachan, who could take 2nd in the points today if things go his way. We'll see what happens with alias Smith and Jones, who were clear at the top coming into this round. There is Smith, chased by the number 3 of Aidan Hayden. Now where is the number 4 of Alex Jones is the next question. He's somewhere in that group for the number 4 next time they come through. Where's Bailey Morgan? He's made up another place there, ahead of our heavyweights pace setters. There is number 8 Neil Strachan being pressured by Manuel Abrahams here. This is 1st and 2nd in the heavyweights. Up ahead of them, the number 2 of Brian Atkins. He's a lap down. Looking for the number 4 carts. I can't see the number 4 of Alex Jones in there at the moment. We'll pick him up shortly. Unfortunately, I haven't got my on-screen live timing for this one. Apologies for that. There are the heavyweights leaders. Team there of James Lee with his hand in the air in the middle of this group. Here they go with just over half distance still to run. Neil Strachan looking to get in on the heavyweight points battle here. Looking at his points, he's got a 0 score from round 7 to drop and a 29 pointer from round 2 is his next lowest score. So that's what he'll drop, 29 points. If it stays like this. Looking further back there, the number 4 of Alex Jones is in heavy traffic, several places behind this group. So could he be about to lose out on the title? Remember, he's got more points to drop anyway because he's contested every round. So I think things are going to go Ollie Smith's way at the moment. It's really busy in there. They passed the number 10 car. That's Adam Hyland being lapped. And he takes the number 7 out wide there, nearly going off the number 7 of Paul Bishop, the lightweight class runner. They're all over the place there at the end of that lap. I don't know what number 9 is signalling there. Manuel Abrahams, I want 1st place, I think he was saying there. He's attacking Neil Strachan. Yes, I know I'm paraphrasing Murray Walker from that famous touring car race in the early 90s, don't worry. And look, the leaders are coming through to lap this lot. They're in there as well, and Fraser Brunton has got the lead back again. You can't take your eyes off this for a second. Brunton's back in the lead ahead of Peter Knight at half distance. Through they come. Behind them there's the group with Ollie Smith. He's under fire from the number 5 Adam Harding, who wants to lap him, and somebody getting shoved wide there over the curbs. Good gracious me. They're all over the place here. Brunton's still got the lead, having retaken Peter Knight. They've swapped places about 4 or 5 times now, those two. They're coming up to lap the heavyweights leaders, the 8 of Neil Strachan, the 9 of Manuel Abrahams. But it's Smith and Jones, the 2 that we need to keep an eye on. Jones is further back than where he wants to be, certainly at the moment. Peter Knight's not able to make a move on Fraser Brunton. But if anything, this is allowing the number 8 of Neil Strachan to get away from Manuel Abrahams. Leader's struggling to get past Strachan here. Peter Knight dodges about, goes to the outside on the run towards Garda. He's never going to get round there, surely. They're still side by side. He could get through on the exit here. The next corner's a left-hander. No. Brunton back across. Holds the overall lead. They're trying to get Neil Strachan out of the way here so they can continue Their relentless run up the order. Peter Knight can sense an opportunity here up towards Conway. He's almost leaning on Fraser Brunton. They finally get past Strachan. Fraser Brunton has held his overall lead. And towards the right-hander, it's hairpin one. Absorbing stuff here at Buckmore Park. This race coming alive at half distance. Fraser Brunton. Background, Adam Harding in third place ahead of Jake Taplin. They're well ahead of the rest. Anthony Amato still in fifth position. Then Max Mooney, who still leads the lightweight class. Great stuff. It's been a great series this year, the Buckmore Park Summer Pro Series 2019. There are going to be three very, very worthy champions at the end of it. Who will they be? We know it's going to be Jake Taplin in the super lights. In the lightweights, will it be Paul Gasson or Max Mooney? And in the heavyweights, will it be Ollie Smith or Alex Jones? And further back in the category at the moment, Alex Jones a fair way back, trying to fight his way forward. Still Neil Strachan and Manuel Abraham setting the pace in the heavyweights at the moment. Jones back in about fifth in class, just behind Ollie Smith. 13 there. Ethan Wood going again after he crashed at Paddock Bend earlier on. Lets the leaders through, goes out over the curbs. But Peter Knight is right with Fraser Brunton once again now. He's pushing for the lead, he's not holding back. He wants his second win of the season. So does Fraser Brunton. He won round 2, Knight won round 4. Jake Taplin won 3 rounds, 1, 3 and 6. Anthony Amato has won the other 2 rounds, 5 and 7. Amato was disqualified from 1 round, which has affected his points. He may not break into the top 3 of the championship this year. Brunton will try to, so will Peter Knight. All about that runner-up placing between Knight, Brunton, Amato and also Adam Harding. Liam Conway not quite as quick this year, consistent, but not enough podiums for Liam Conway, and he's further back at the wrong end of the top 10 at the moment. They're coming up to lap the number 14 cart there of James Lee, the lightweight category. So they're well up on Lappery here, the 2 leaders. They're Bailey Morgan just ahead of James Lee, so they're up to around 13th place now in that number of carts lapped. That's very impressive in just over half the race from our 2 leaders. They bounced their way through there on the inside, bit of a push there from Peter Knight. He doesn't want the leader to put back markers between himself and Peter Knight. Towards Paddock Bend they go, at the bottom of the circuit. Knight will try to cut to the inside. He's busy dealing with Bailey Morgan, who's had a great run through the field, up towards around 12th place now. He started 23rd. Who knows, he could have been fighting for the lead in the lightweight category as well. It's Fraser Brunton from Peter Knight. Between these 2 for the overall victory. It's still a fair way to go yet. We won't say too much because we know what happened to Peter Knight in round 5. He's on for his second consecutive win. It all came apart with 2 laps to go, having led all the way. So they're coming up to lap number 16 now. That's Neil Slaughter. I think he'll be going 2 laps now. Running in the lightweights. Starting towards the back of the grid. So number 9, that's David Sutton. They're running just inside the top 30 at the moment. 33 carts took the start in this race. All of them are still going, pleased to say. There was 1 non-starter, Chris May, didn't make it past qualifying before withdrawing. Meantime, here's the 3rd place fight between Harding and Taplin. Jake Taplin, who's gone through into 3rd place there. We've got 24 minutes of this race to go. Taplin back into 3rd. Finishes in 3rd, I think he'll still drop this round. He doesn't need to go for the win here, he knows that. As if he finishes 3rd, it'll be his joint lowest score of the season, except for round 7, which he didn't contest. So he can drop today's round, even if he finishes on the podium. He's doing the calculations here. I know my maths isn't brilliant, but we'll try our best. Meantime, the leaders through Garda once again. Brunton from Knights. The cart goes a lap down, the number 9 of David Sutton. Still Max Mooney setting the lightweight pace along with Ryan Horton and Paul Gasson in 3rd. And heavyweights, it is still Neil Strachan looking good at the front. We see a different winner in the heavyweights for the first time this season, because it's been Alias Smith and Jones, as we said, all year. Jake Taplin bounces past the number 14 there of James Lee. He's, I think, a lap up on the other carts around there. It's number 16 being lapped for a second time, Neil Slaughter. Lee battling with Bailey Morgan. We'll soon see the leaders coming up to lap possibly the top 10 runners. The pace they're setting at the moment. We're in clear air at the moment. Still Fraser Brunson. Fight for third place with the number 5 rather stuck in back markers now. Adam Harding in that fourth place. Jake Taplin's being able to pull away slightly. 22.5 minutes or thereabouts to go that time through. With number 14 there waving somebody through, that's James Lee. I don't think so, because Bailey Morgan's the man with him and they're fighting for position, but Morgan does go through. Not sure what that was all about, as one back marker gets run wide by Jake Taplin there. That was David Sutton on cart number 9. Still the championships in the lower categories to be decided. Mooney and Gasson, the two fighting it out for lightweight's glory. Smith and Jones for the heavyweights. We've seen much of Alex Jones in this one, nor Rob Jones, who is the other factor in the lightweight category battle. He's running a bit behind his peers at the moment in that category, just outside the top 10. The other man who could have been a factor, Ben Scott, he's pretty much out of it because he's been lapped, as we saw earlier. Adam Harding still pushing to try to catch Jake Taplin for third place, and now they're clear of the back markers. He's starting to catch up to him. Not long to go now. We're into the final third of the race almost now. It's 1 hour Buckmore Park Summer Pro Series round 8. It may not be particularly summery today, or indeed hasn't been over the last couple of weeks. Staying dry for today's race, thankfully. The lead gap, if anything, has increased very slightly between Brunson and Knight. You see, Taplin still third. He's got straight line speed, I think, over Adam Harding at the moment. And they're way ahead of the rest. It's still Anthony Amato fifth, but he's been fifth for, I think, the whole race. And then next we've got the lightweight battlers, Horton, Mooney and Gasson, Sam Essery and Liam Conway beating the top 10. There's still that 5-way dice going on further back. We'll pick that up shortly. And beyond them, Rob Jones, Bailey Morgan, James Lee. I think everybody else now is a lap down. Leaders go along the bottom of the course. Third and fourth, Taplin and Harding. Here's the fights further back in the order. Now let's have a look at the order among the lightweights here. Because there is Max Mooney, and I think Paul Gasson has got ahead of him. Now, where is Ryan Horton? Horton's leading the class. It's Gasson up to second, and there is Mooney down to third. Now, if they stay like that, Paul Gasson, I'm fairly certain by my calculations, wins the title. Behind them, Sam Essery in the number 7, and then behind him is another superlight runner, number 8 of Liam Conway. This is the fight for 6th overall at the moment, currently being held by Ryan Horton. He leads the lightweights, looking for his second class win of the season, but having only done a part season, as we explained earlier, he will not factor in the championship. Paul Gasson certainly will, and now he's ahead of Max Mooney. I think that's going to be enough to win him the title. Somebody going off there in the background I caught a glimpse of, and it was a driver in red and white. Was that Ollie Smith, I wonder? I wonder if he's had a moment there. Now, could that be a factor towards the heavyweights? I'm not sure if it was Ollie Smith. Leaders go up towards the completion of another lap. Still Fraser Brunson ahead. Keep an eye on all three category battles here. Not too easy today. Back with our lightweights battle. The lower reaches of the overall top 10. The 7 of Sam Essery fighting it out with Liam Conway. This is for 6th place in the superlight category. There goes the lightweight leader, Ryan Horton, over the line. Gasson second, Mooney third. It's going to be close between those two in the points as it stands at the moment, but with that 0 score to drop from round 1, I would say that the ball is firmly in Paul Gasson's court here. It looks like he is going to take the lightweight championship, as long as nothing disastrous happens here to either him or Max Mooney. They can afford Ryan Horton to get clear at the front of the field. In their category at least, in 6th overall. Gasson 7th, Mooney 8th. 9th behind them we've got Sam Essery, and rounding out the top 10 it is Liam Conway in cart number 8. 17 and a half minutes of this race still to go. In the heavyweights, Neil Strachan still leads the race. Inside Sam Essery passes not Ryan Horton, Max Mooney, I'm sorry. Still 3rd in class, he won't lose any points for losing that position. He's looking behind him here. Now, is Max Mooney's game plan going to be to let the super lights go through? He really needs to be thinking about catching Paul Gasson here. He's not letting the number 8 of Liam Conway go through. Paul Gasson, I think, allowing one of the super lights to go there. Yes, Sam Essery on the number 7. Replay of that move into Garda up the inside. Sam Essery taking Paul Gasson down the inside, and the number 3 of Max Mooney thought about an attack as well, but Gasson was able to close the door. That's clever driving by Paul Gasson. Towards Garda they come once again. Closing stage up towards the final quarter of this race now. Sam Essery in 6th place at the head of this battle. We've got Paul Gasson 7th, Max Mooney is in 8th. Max Mooney in 9th, I apologise, because Ryan Horton in front of this group, still leading the lightweight category. He's 6th overall. There he is, in the white there we catch a glimpse of him. Passing a back marker, the number 16, Neil Slaughter. He's struggling in the closing stages of this one. Tiredness starting to set in for a few of the competitors now. Time. Here's the battle among the heavyweight class runners we caught a glimpse of there. James Rudd at the head of that group. Ollie Smith was in there. Meantime, a bit of bumping and boring there. Max Mooney and Liam Conway. A bit of bumper work being used there. This is karting, not stock car racing. Try and pick up on the heavyweights battle when we can. We're into the final quarter of this 1 hour race now. Less than 15 minutes on the clock. Still Fraser Brunton, Peter Knight together for the overall lead. Still Ryan Horton leading the lightweight class. Heavyweights, it's still Neil Strachan. The other places in the heavyweights we need to see. And this group are coming up to overlap with the heavyweights shortly and lap them. So we'll see what's happening among this very busy heavyweight group down in the lower midfield. They're ahead of this bunch in the lower reaches of the overall top 10 now. Mooney ahead of number 8 of Liam Conway. Ollie Smith is in that group ahead of them. I think Alex Jones is now in there with him. Smith was delayed earlier on by a bit of a moment coming down Syme Sweep. Trying to pick up his position in relation to his heavyweight class rivals here. Paul Gasson in the turquoise, we can pick him out. There is Ollie Smith, just passing Brian Atkins there to put a lap on him. Smith is just behind this group now, but where is he in relation to his heavyweight category rivals? That's what's important. With the blue number plates, he's just behind the number 5 of James Rudd. I think they are either 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th in category. And who that is ahead of them. We'll try and identify that in a moment. I think it's still Neil Strachan who leads the class. Now, is that Alex Jones ahead of them? That's what's important here. We need to pick up the number 4 of Alex Jones. There's number 1 being lapped. That's Matthew Hawes. He's in just at the back of this group at the moment, being lapped in the red suit. There's Ollie Smith in the red and white. Can't see Alex Jones in that group now. I think he's up just ahead of them along with Neil Strachan. just confirming there, it's Strachan from Jones in the heavyweight class, and then this group that's being lapped at the moment by the lower reaches of the overall top 10. So I reckon that Ollie Smith may just about do enough. We'll see what other points he's got to drop. He's got his previous lowest score is 30. He's above that at the moment, apart from that non-appearance in round. Alex Jones has got to drop 32 and 34. This is going to be close for the heavyweight category. Number 3 being lapped there. That's Aidan Hayden, was in pole for the heavyweights today, their top qualifier. So that means James Rudd is second in the heavyweight category. No, he's third, sorry. Behind Neil Strachan and Alex Jones. Rudd is third in the category, then Aidan Hayden. There he is on number 3, and Ollie Smith, 5th in class. Now, is that going to be enough to stay ahead of Alex Jones? Looking at the lap charts so far, the lap times, I'll tell you that Ollie Smith has got the fastest lap of the race for the heavyweights, so we'll get an extra point for that. Fastest lap for the lightweights has been done by their leader, Ryan Horton. And the super light Fraser Brunton has got the fastest lap. We watch Paul Gasson staying ahead of Max Mooney. Should give him the championship for the lightweights. We don't need to worry about Ryan Horton ahead of them. Man in the middle there, James Rudd on cart number 5. He's third in the heavyweight category. He's taken by Max Mooney. With a lap on him. The closing stages of this race now here at Buckmore Park. Still tension, particularly among the heavyweights and class runners. Just over 10 minutes to go. Ian Conway, start number 8, chasing Max Mooney. They're in the lower reaches of the top 10. Ryan Horton going well up there in 6th overall, I think. And still ahead of Sam Essery for 6th. Paul Gasson is 8th overall. Max Mooney 9th, Liam Conway 10th. They're just about the only carts on the lead lap now. There goes Ryan Horton in the white suit. Paul Gasson is looking likely to become the lightweight category champion. Had a great season, with the exception of one round in round 5, where he finished quite a way down the order. Only finishing 8th in class, having come from the back of the grid after problems in qualifying. He's dropped that round, he'll drop his non-score from round 1. Drop the scores, I think, in super lights are pretty much irrelevant because nobody had done every round this year. Coming into the closing stages now of the season here at Buckmore Park. The main question remaining now is who's it going to be in the heavyweight category? Jones only around 5th in class. Really needs to get back ahead of Aidan Hayden on cart number 3. He's going to stay within touching distance of Alex Jones. I think as it stands at the moment, Jones is going to take the title. This is certainly going to be close. Close in the midfield as well. The two number 10s together there. The number 10 in the heavyweights, Adam Hyland, being lapped. Fraser and Max Mooney, number 3, closing back up on Paul Gasson, who's got a wall of back markers ahead of him. There is the number 4, that's Alex Jones. So we pick him up, fighting for the lead of the heavyweights category at the moment. How far behind Neil Strachan is he? That's what we need to work out. Somebody running wide over the curbs there. Didn't see who it was. Somebody nearly going off. Looking at the margins here, Alex Jones and Neil Strachan, are they going to be in battle for the heavyweight category lead here? There is the number 4 of Alex Jones about to be lapped. He started 22nd on the grid. he about to take the heavyweight category title? I'd say he's in position to. He'll be very close with Ollie Smith, who's back fighting in around 4th or 5th place in the category at the moment. I would say he's in 5th behind Aidan Hayden. We come towards the end now of this final round of the season. Still the fight going on for the overall lead, of course, as well, between Peter Knight and Fraser Brunton. It's Brunton in front at the moment, I can tell you, looking for his 2nd win of the season. Still this fight going on for the lightweights. Max Mooney is not finished yet. He's back up onto the tail of Paul Gasson. There is Alex Jones on the number 4 behind them. Is he about to win his category title? There goes Anthony Amato. He's on a lonely race in 5th all the way. There goes Neil Strachan, who's just lapped the number 9, I think, which is Manuel Abrahams. Yes, Manuel Abrahams being lapped, so he's been delayed somewhere. He was fighting for the heavyweight lead early on. It is Neil Strachan still with a clear lead in the heavyweight category. About 6.5 minutes to go now. Alex Jones trying to work hard for the heavyweights. If he stays where he is, it depends what Ollie Smith does, whether he can gain places in the midfield battle that we were with earlier, whether he takes the title. Alex Jones needs to stay where he is. I don't know if he'll catch the number 8 now of Neil Strachan. Behind all these carts that have just lapped him. James Rudd still 3rd of the heavyweights. And is Ollie Smith going to be able to make any further progress up the order in the midfield? He'll need to if he's going to beat Alex Jones to the title. If not, it could go to a tie-break on race wins. But Ollie Smith has got the fastest lap in the category at the moment, and that will give him an extra point. Alex Jones won't know that. I doubt he'll be able to read the scoreboard as he goes round. Just a few minutes to go now. Fraser Brunton still your overall leader ahead of Peter Knight. Jake Taplin and Adam Harding still fighting for 3rd. Amato 5th. And Ryan Horton, Sam Essery, Paul Gasson, Max Mooney and Liam Conway. They're your top 10. Jones down in around 17th place overall. Could he be about to take the heavyweight category? No sign of any nerves at the moment. Just under 5 minutes to go. Tension in the air here at Buckmore Park in this cold autumn air. Where is this championship going to go? Which way is it going to go for the lightweights, with Max Mooney chasing Paul Gasson? I think Gasson, if he stays ahead, will have done enough. They have just put another lap on Ben Scott, who's in all sorts of problems. He's 3 laps down now. He could have been fighting for that championship as well. There's the fights further ahead of them, including heavyweight leader Neil Strachan. Looks like he's going to break the Smith and Jones monopoly, and there is Ollie Smith, and he's got ahead of Aidan Hayden. Now, could that be crucial or what? Ollie Smith has got ahead of Aidan Hayden. He's now, let's have a look, 4th in the heavyweight class. Is that going to be enough? Behind them, the number 9 there, that's a lightweight class runner, David Sutton, who's been lapped. But Hayden is not finished yet. Ollie Smith needs to stay ahead of him here. And if he stays 4th, this is going to be really close for the heavyweight category. It could come down to the fastest lap point. I think that might decide it here with the positions they are in right now. They're not going to drop today's scores, Smith and Jones, if it stays like this, because of lower scores earlier in the season. They could yet finish level on points here. We could have a tie-break situation, in which case I think it will go to Ollie Smith on race wins, 4-3. Well now, drama here at Buckmore Park in the closing stages of this race. Only around 3 minutes to go now. Back with our leaders. They're coming up to lap Ollie Smith and Aidan Hayden. And Hayden's being taken wide there at Henry's by the race leader, Fraser Brunton. Now, has that just saved Ollie Smith's bacon there, perhaps? because the two leaders took Hayden wide. They've got him off the back of Ollie Smith now. There is Brunton, the number 4. He's heading for overall victory by the look of it. As they head down towards Paddock Bend, just a couple of laps remaining this time through. Very much in the closing stages. Through and over the curbs they come towards Garda. Still in 3rd place. It is the number 5, Adam Harding. He's got back ahead of Jake Taplin. Well, Taplin heading for the Superlights title. He's dropped back into 4th. He knows he doesn't need to finish on the podium today, really, as we said earlier. Just taking it easy now over the closing stages. A couple of minutes to go. There is Taplin in 4th place. He's going to take the Superlight Championship. I think Paul Gasson, if he stays ahead of Max Mooney, will have done enough to win the lightweight class. But it's in the heavyweights where there's uncertainty. Ollie Smith is 4th in class. Alex Jones is 2nd. And it's going to be extremely close in the standings between those two. And Peter Knight's taken the lead. Coming through Paddock Corner there. Knight's back in front. He's taken Fraser Brunton. So drama in the last couple of laps. Peter Knight has retaken Brunton. I think that's 6 lead changes we've had now. But Knight was back in the lead as they came through Paddock there. Can Fraser Brunton fight back? Well, they've been battling tooth and nail all race long. There's just a couple of laps to go now. Well, it's has not followed the pattern of previous races here at Buckmore Park. Normally all the drama's in the early stages and it calms down as the race goes on, but it was a quiet start to this race, and it was about the half-hour mark where everything started to kick off this time. Adam Harding looking still safe in 3rd. He's got the number 6 behind him there. That's Harry Charalambos. He's been lapped, but it's Peter Knight in front. Fraser Brunton, he's not finished yet. He tries the inside line. He's up alongside Knight as they come through out of Garda. Can he get ahead there? Not quite. Knight still has the lead. This is terrific stuff in the closing stages here at the Buckmore Park kart circuit. Last lap is shown on the board. Peter Knight in kart number 2. Can he take his 2nd win of the season? He suffered frustration in round 5. He won round 4. I don't think he's going to be denied this time unless Fraser Brunton does something very special indeed here. They're coming up to lap the number 4 of Alex Jones. Is he about to take the heavyweight category title? Ollie Smith, you can see him. They've closed right up, those two. But I'm not sure what's going to be the outcome of that one as the leaders come up on the last few back markers here. They're coming up on Neil Strachan on kart number 8, and Fraser Brunton goes to the outside into Garda. He's going to try and get the cut back to the inside. These are the last couple of corners of the season here at Buckmore Park, and Brunton trying, but Peter Knight is hanging on. They come up through Cafe Corner for the last time. I don't think Brunton's going to do it. It's going to be victory for Peter Knight on kart number 2. He takes his 2nd win of the season. 2nd goes to number 4 of Fraser Brunton. It will be Adam Harding in 3rd ahead of the champion Jake Taplin. A handshake between the two of them, a terrific fight, with at least half a dozen lead changes there between Peter Knight and Fraser Brunton. That was brilliant. The race was getting better and better as it went on here at Buckmore Park. We'll try and confirm the champions shortly as the rest of the finishers make their way in. Well, what a great race there. Still at it on the run to the line. Paul Gasson ahead of Max Mooney, so I think he's done enough for the lightweight title. Confirm the results in just a moment then, and the championship standings. It's closest in the heavyweight category, I can tell you that. Win though overall going to Peter Knight by less than 0.2 of a second ahead of Fraser Brunton, then Harding, Taplin, Amato and Essery. Ryan Horton wins the lightweight category in 7th overall. Liam Conway got a 30-second penalty, so he finishes in 10th. That was for contact. The heavyweight category won by Neil Strachan ahead of Jones, Rudd and Ollie Smith. So we'll wait and see how that works out. Ryan Horton winning the lightweights ahead of Gasson and Mooney. The rest of the finishers coming in. I'm pleased to report that everybody did go the distance here at Buckmore Park today. All 33 starters, including Ethan Wood, who we saw have an incident midway through. He finished back in 33rd and last place. Well done to everybody for a great show here at Buckmore Park here in round 8. Jake Taplin, as we know, takes the Superlights Championship ahead of Peter Knight. That victory giving him 2nd place by 1 point ahead of Fraser Brunton. So that was crucial for the 2nd in the championship as well. Then Amato and Harding completing the top 5 ahead of Liam Conway. In the lightweight category, meanwhile, Paul Gasson finishing ahead of Max Mooney was enough to give him the championship. Mooney taking second by a point ahead of Rob Jones, who finished fifth in class, and Ben Scott, who struggled today, finishing fourth ahead of James Lee. Ryan Horton further down, having only done a part season. In the heavyweight category, Ollie Smith, the champion, by 1 point. And that was the fastest lap point. On results, they finished equal. Ollie Smith's fastest lap point, giving him the championship ahead of Alex Jones. What an incredible conclusion to the season, with Neil Strachan taking third, having won the category for the only time this season. What a magnificent year of racing here at Buckmore Park in the Summer Pro Series. Goodbye for 2019.